Hey there, you're about to watch a quick clip from Marketing O'Clock. If you like what you see, we release new episodes every Friday with all the digital marketing news of the week. So we'd love you forever if you'd like and subscribe. Thanks.
And now on to the main news this week. Just about an hour ago, Google I/O happened. And this was the first I/O in a while where search was sort of at the forefront of it. There was a lot of announcements out there, some Bard we'll get into, and also just like a lot of looks that I would say are overly positive were sort of my takeaways on the implementation of it. And then there was like a little bit of talk of ads, but there wasn't a really good plan there. But first up, Bard is getting tools, not the band. That's different services with Google and extensions with partners. So one of those is like images, like you're just going to be able to pull on Google Images. An example that they showed were what are some must-see sites in New Orleans. And one item I loved about it is you can see there's an example of the French Quarter. And right underneath it, it says the location that it came from. So if I look at like the Garden District, I can see it's from TripAdvisor. So it does seem like there's a thought about citations now and getting people off to where that information lives. Because if there's no traffic to publishers, basically the web's going to explode. People are going to start blocking all the AI. Twitter's already doing it. Reddit's trying to do it as well. So like that's a really good thing. Additionally, Lens is coming to Bard. There's an example with two dogs up on screen, and the woman that talked through it said, "Are you looking to have fun with your fur babies? You might upload a picture and ask Bard to write a funny caption about the two." I'm like, is this the point that we're at? That we can't come up with our own captions and you need...
People don't have time. They're busy.
Mm-hmm. That's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't get some neuron activity in your brain, you can ask it for, and it was okay. It was like, which one's the bad boy or something, or I don't know, whatever.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. It also, there was a really nice demonstration of if you were interested in video games and you want to know different college degrees that might be there for you. And then it kind of strung a bunch of additional queries together or conversations together. So that said, oh, if you like this art degree, what schools are here in Pennsylvania? Can I see it on a map? Cool. Can you put it into a table? Can I export it into Sheets so I can send it to somebody? And you can say like, which in the table, please tell me what is public or private. So it does look pretty nice. I don't know how much of it is real because Bard kind of looked cool, even though it got everything wrong on the initial announcement. Bard has been unusable, at least for me. So hopefully this is much more usable. And then one of the really cool things is some of the integrations that it seems like are coming out. So another example was that a child likes unicorns and cakes. For a birthday party, they're looking to make an image of a cake and a unicorn. And Bard tapped into Google Firefly to come up with a bunch of different options there. So sort of like Mind Journey, but just all of it in Bard. Additionally, they're removing the wait list, and it's going to be available for 180 countries and territories, and will soon support 40 languages. So quite a bit of enhancements to Bard. And there's also some big enhancements to search. As we know, Bard is not search. Search is not Bard. But there is generative AI coming to search. And this also looks pretty cool. So they say it's simpler and smarter than ever before. They're going to bring together the deep understanding of information that Google has along with generative AI, and it'll answer questions you never thought could be answered, essentially. And an example that they gave was, what is a good hike in Utah if you've got 3 kids, I think, and a pet? And it pulled up a bunch of examples. The only thing that I didn't think was great is it said the input asked, what is a good hike if you have 3 kids and a dog? And it gave an example that dogs aren't allowed, which is weird. It says pets aren't allowed on any trails. So it gives you a couple examples, but only one is. It does say that up front. It says both Bryce Canyon and Arches National Park are family friendly, although both parks prohibit dogs on unpaved trails. But then it goes through to say pets aren't allowed on any trails with Arches. So it's one of those things that, like, it'll probably get better as you go on, but you can't really trust it at face value, but it can get you maybe 85% of the way.
And it did still surface useful information. It didn't answer the question, but it let you know pet related stuff. It's getting there.
Right. Like it looked at face value. If you didn't read it and didn't fully consume the information, you might be sent astray, but whatever, it seems good. And then the other thing that's nice is there are citations, so you can get in and see like, hey, here's why Bryce Canyon, the kids and youth program, and you can jump right to that and see like why it might be more kid friendly. Additionally, there's other ways that you can see how the information is corroborated, was the word they said. Hey, good word.
Good word.
And it basically pulls up all the different points where the information came from. So this is a huge win, I would say, for publishers. It'll say, here's the information that came about the dogs and the paths and the rim trail, and you get a couple options, and then you can see where the other information was sourced from. So I think not only from a Google safety and just legal standpoint, this is huge, but also for publishers. It's everybody must be breathing a huge sigh of relief from seeing this. They then went on to kind of look at this from a commerce perspective and typed in, what's a good bike for a 5-mile commute with hills? One of the results was that you might want an electric bike, and it showed a bunch of different bikes out here. And it talks about like why you want to look at the design, the motor, the suspension, and a whole bunch of other things. And then the example, they said, well, show me one in red right afterwards. And it surfaced one in red, which was cool. And they did address ads, which is not what usually happens at I/O. So they said the ads will still show in a clear sponsored format above the answers here. And if you look on screen, you can see a selection of electric bikes. Actually, they're not all electric bikes. One of the ads isn't an electric bike. But you'll be able to see those above with a sponsored label. And they said they're exploring different ways to integrate the ads for commercial queries. So right now it seems like it is outside of that generative AI answers, but maybe down the road it will be. And again, that conversational mode allows you to follow up with questions. It also works on mobile. Another example was about a woman whose daughter liked whales. And they said, why do whales sing? And then the next one was, can you see them in California? And it showed where you could see whales in California. And basically, the next input was, can you buy a plush under $40? And my thought was,
I hope so.
$40?
For a plush? Are you at the aquarium?
$40 on a whale plush?
You could buy a real whale for $60.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, 60. At least one.
And you could name it.
You could.
Yeah, telecom.
WWF.
All right. And additionally, there was a new item called within Search Labs. You can go sign up for it. I believe it's a beta or whatever they call it. And it's called Search Generative Experience, or SGE. Is like other search experiences where it will highlight and drive attention to content on the web, and it makes it easy for people to dive deeper on topics that they're always learning about. And if you want to see this, they called it Search Supercharged overall. So again, I'd say overall, this is pretty promising. The citations, it actually looks cool. It's a different color, which is nice too. So you know that you're
calls it out.
Yeah, you're in like this experimental feature. So I dig it. And then there were some other announcements, a couple things just of note. There's going to be generative AI in Gmail called Help Me Write, because we can't come up with anything anymore.
Help me.
And you can say, ask for a refund. You type that prompt in and it'll be like, hey, Delta Airlines, my flight was canceled due to this. Can you please give me a refund for X amount of dollars based off like email and stuff like that, which seems kind of cool. But it's also annoying if you have to get those fake emails from people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like those calls. Those calls seem like they're good, but nobody wants to talk to a robot on the phone. So whatever. Also, if you look at maps, there's now an immersive view for routes. It's pretty awesome.
Routes. Just an alternate take. I don't know.
Cool. Hot take. So if you want to see a route/route for a bike ride, there is an example in New York City where you can look and say, should I go up by the water or should I go in the city? And it's like, here's what it looks like. And it zooms in. You can see there's all these trees. There's a dedicated bike path. Really cool. Also a magic editor where you can make photos fake basically. So you're like, oh, this photo stinks. I want to color the balloons and the sky's dark. I'm going to make it blue. And I had a bag on in the photo. I don't want the bag there.
Take your bag off.
I'm with you. I hate fake photos. I don't like filtered photos. I don't like doctored photos. I don't know why everything has to be so perfect anymore. You see this picture of a girl in balloons, and then they just totally change it and make it look like Willy Wonka.
Ugh.
You know?
The Johnny Depp version, blown out and disgusting.
You don't like the Johnny Depp version?
Nope.
Wow.
Gene Hackman. Oh my God, not Gene Hackman. Gene Wilder.
Wow.
Doesn't
R.I.P.
Not, yeah. I know.
Both of them. Both the Genes. And to Cheech and Chong.
They are alive.
Debatable. And there's also Palm 2 coming out there. So a lot of information at Google I/O. You can go catch the entire keynote on YouTube. I would definitely check it out if you're interested. A bunch of the integrations look really cool, especially some of the shopping stuff. And like that whales example was cool, I thought. So if you missed it, I would go back and consume.